So, good evening, guys. Today we are going to see what is Terraform and then what is Terraform blocks, types of Terraform blocks, and then modules. And then mainly we are going to look about Terraform's architecture and then workflow. Okay, I'll share my screen now. Okay, is my screen is visible for everyone?
Soumya.
Yes, Soumya.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, okay. So, you guys know we will be having two way of creating any AWS resources. Okay, so one thing is manual and another thing is automation. Okay, so you guys you will be right. You will be in creating your infrastructure as in a code based manner is called Terraform. Okay, so Terraform is nothing but it is your infrastructure as code tool, and you can provision and manage your computing resources using this Terraform tool. Okay, so mainly Terraform is nothing but you will what are the things you're going to just click on the consoles, like for AWS EC2 we will be going and just we are just selecting the requirements, right? Like giving your EC2 a good name, and then you're just selecting your OS and then creating a new key pair, and then going for network settings and then storage. So each and everything you're just going and giving all of your details, and then you're launching your EC2 instance. So that is you're doing everything on your UI, okay, which is nothing but your AWS console. But here you will be using scripts, okay, that is nothing but a configuration files which will end with .tf extension. Okay, so how we will be having Python files will be ended with .py or text file with .tx, like that your Terraform files will be having a format called .tf. Okay, so also we will be calling that files as configuration files or else manifest files. Okay, so here you using Terraform to provision and managing your EC2 compute or EC2 or compute resources, and then you will be having this as your infrastructure as code tool, where you will write the Terraform script files and you're going to just execute the files. That's it. Okay, so here you just see the Terraform architecture diagram. So here you are the DevOps engineer. Okay. So you going to write the Terraform files. So Terraform files is nothing but whatever you're doing with your AWS console, you're going to write the codes in form of files. Okay. You will be writing this Terraform files, and then once the Terraform file is ready, you're going to go with the Terraform commands. Okay. So Terraform commands is what for? You're going to just you're going to do the actions in real. Okay, if you want to create how will we be doing that git steps, right? You're using git commands to communicate with your GitLab console. So here your Terraform will be having your AWS accounts details, and then it is going to create the resources for you in your AWS console. Without you logging in into your AWS console, it will be going to create everything from your git bash terminal. Okay, so here, once the Terraform codes is ready, you will be going to um, just execute with this in a Terraform commands. Okay. So here you will be having 4 Terraform commands. Sorry, which is a very useful and very immediate. You're going to use this 5 commands only. Okay, so Terraform init is nothing but it is going to initiate your Terraform environment in your folder. Okay, so in Git Bash you will be having your local folders, right? So inside that folder, what you're doing, if you want to just push your changes to GitLab console, you initially initializing a empty repository or initializing a Git environment inside your local folder. Like the same, you're here just initializing your Terraform environment inside your local folder. Okay. So validate is nothing but you will be writing Terraform files, right? So what I have told you, it will be consist of your configurations or requirements to create the compute resources or your AWS resources. Okay, so for that it will validate the scripts. Okay, the scripts is ready, everything is fine. So once the validate is done, it will move that to plan stage. So first init stage, then validate, the scripts will be validating, and then it will be moving to next action called plan. Okay, here it will just go with the execution plan, like what are the resources have been mentioned in this file. I'm going to plan the resources allocation. Okay, it is going to plan the resources, and once the plan is ready, or once it knows what is the desired thing I want to do, after that plan will just move that particular thing into apply stage. Okay, so here in apply stage, exactly your things will be going to create. See, here you have given EC2 or EC2 VPC S3, and then route tables, subnets, security group. So these are all your computing resources that have written in your file. So once the once you written everything in your file, you're going to do initialize the environment and validating the scripts, and then planning for the resources like VPC, EC2, S3, and then you go and applying the exactly you are creating the resources in the apply stage. Okay, so once everything is fine, okay, now everything is good and you no longer need this particular server or particular resources, means you going to destroy that using this Terraform destroy command. Okay, so in your Terraform files, you will be having dot/deploy.sh file. Okay, so that dot/deploy.sh file contains all these four commands. Okay, it will initiate, validate, plan, apply. Your dot/run destroy .sh file will consist only the destroy command, because if you put destroy in the one single file, means it will initiate, validate, plan, and then apply, and then it will be automatically destroy. So what is the use of creating the resources? There is no use and it is a waste of time. Okay, so you will be always having the destroy command in the particular shell scripting file. Okay guys, so back to this diagram. Once the Terraform file is ready, you're going to do the four-step process called these four commands. Okay. So it will init, it will plan, it will validate, and then plan, and it is going to apply your resources. So everything is going to work under the backend process called Terraform core here. Okay. So here the Terraform core will understand it is like a backend thing. It will understand the script, and it will here you will be giving the provider and what are the things you want to provision, each and everything it will be having inside the Terraform backend process. And also it will release one state file here. So what is the state file is for? It will consist all of your metadatas of your AWS resources. Okay, so what are the resources created at when time, at which place, and what are the like info of your resources. Okay, so everything will be stored here. And then whatever the cloud resources you want to create. So here what we are dealing with, we are dealing with AWS. Okay, so once everything is fine, DevOps engineer writing the script, and the script is ready, and it gone through the all four stages of Terraform in the background process. And next it will be going to the AWS account, and it is going to create your resources here. Okay, is that clear guys? Any doubt on Terraform architecture and Terraform commands?
Yeah, Soumya, but could you tell me that what is provisioning?
Provisioning is nothing but you're launching or deploying your resources. Okay, launching or deploying, nothing but you're creating your resources here. Okay, so your provisioning and managing is nothing but you're managing the resources. So once you have created the resources, and the very next step you have to manage that. So if you created EC2 instance, if that instance want to be want more servers, or it want more storage, means you're going to just do the needful for the particular server. Okay, so you're deploying, and then you're just managing your resources also.
So
That was
everything, so everything will be done in that Git bash only, right?
Yeah, yeah. We are
So
doing everything inside a Git bash terminal. So there only you can able to communicate with the AWS console, right? Because we have downloaded the AWS CLI and then we have created access key, secret key, and we put the credential details into your Git bash. So you guys remember that, right? So what is the purpose of we doing that? To make the communication between your Git bash to your remote machines like AWS or GitLab console.
Yes.
Okay. Any
and
doubts?
one more thing, the state file. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like one more thing, the state file is there, right? So these resources are like normally saved in local, right?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it will
The
be
one which are
present on a
creating.
local. Any doubts? Okay. So these five commands, right? These is exact the Terraform workflow. So first initiate and init and then validate and then it will do the plan and it will apply and create the resources and finally if everything is done and you no longer need any of the resources, you can able to destroy the resources also. So this is what Terraform workflow. And here I'm just give you the breakdown of the Terraform commands and what the Terraform commands will do here. Okay. So and then you can see here some of the extra commands also show state or what is state here and then what is Terraform destroy. Just share this PPT with you guys. You just go and look after the class. Okay. So what will be the workflow here? You will be going with Terraform init, validate, plan, apply, and finally destroy. Okay, so engineers will write the .tf files and they will be executing the Terraform plan to the preview to just look whatever it has been planned to the resources and then it will execute the Terraform apply to provision your resources. Okay, so once the provision everything is done, Terraform core communicates with providers and updates the state file. Okay, so we have see that backend process here, right? So it will communicate with the Terraform core here. Okay, and it will release the details to Terraform state file here. Okay, and then your resources will be created in the respective cloud providers. So if you want to create that in AWS, it will be going to create. If you want to create in GCP or Azure, whatever the cloud providers available in market, you can able to just use this template for any of the cloud providers. Okay, that is the beauty of Terraform. So Terraform is not a dedicated platform for AWS or for Azure. It is a you can use it for a multi-cloud purpose. If you want to run something in AWS. Also, if you want to run something in Azure or like that, you can just change your provided blocks and you can able to work on multiple clouds. Okay. So here I have another one content to show you. Okay, this is a very detailed introduction for Terraform. Here you can see there are some questions and the what is declarations, what is advantages of Terraform. So each thing you can able to just go through this 23 pages of this entire detailed document. Okay, I'll just show you here. I'll just give you a brief detailed definition today so that you can able to relate that with your hands-on practices. So you guys have created today or yesterday, I guess you have done with the dot/deploy.sh and you run the instances, right? So how you able to do that? You having your Terraform configuration files and then using that configuration files you're going to execute with .sh files, which is nothing but whatever ended with .tf, that is what your manifest files are.
Sorry, Soumya. So yesterday we have not done.
Okay, okay, so we can see that in our upcoming classes, no problem. So dot s, I think Ganesh and Gopi have done with this, right? Dot/deploy.sh creating EC2 instances. We have done in default VPC and custom VPC, right?
Yes, Soumya.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Soumya. I have done
Okay,
this.
okay. So, Kushal and Srinu, you will be going to do that in our tomorrow's class or from Monday or in between itself. Sir will just give you like a task also. Okay, no problem. So .sh will be your executable files. Okay. So whatever has been written in this .tf file, it is going to execute by the .sh files. Is that clear? I'll show you in real. Here you can see these are all whatever has been ended with .tf, that is what called a Terraform configuration files. So amazon.tf, main.tf, and then variables.tf, these are all your Terraform files. Okay, so here you can see these two green files, right? Green colored files. This is what your executable files. Okay, so I'll show you what is inside the amazon.tf file. So here you can see that whatever you have whatever you're going to create on your AWS console, the things will be, you can able to just we are written as a code format here. Okay, so you will be having shell scripting format. We have written everything here. So to launch an EC2 instance, what are the things we need? We need the this is what called okay, I'll tell you the blocks later. Just see, you will be going to have the AMI, right? And then instance type, and then user data, root block device, key name creating, subnet IDs. So what are the things you need to create your EC2 instance? We just put that inside the form of Terraform files. So this is what your configuration file looks like. Okay. So in output, you want public IP address. So without public IP address, you cannot able to log in into your EC2 instance. So this is one kind of configuration files. Okay. So in main.tf, you can see you will be having the entire details and entire blocks here. Okay. So Terraform block, providers block, providers block, and then data block here. And you will be having different types of blocks. Do we have Terraform blocks class yesterday? Did we done with that part?
No, no, Somesh.
Okay, okay. So here you will be having the again configurations like which provider I want to create my EC2 instance, or which provider I want to create my resources. I'm using, we are using AWS, and US East one is our region, and then we are just giving a profile. Okay, the profile will be default here. And then here I want to create a VPC. So VPC section is here, and I want to create subnets. So subnet section is here. And then I want to filter with availability zones. So availability zones here, key pair is here. So whatever the resources you want to create, security group also here. Okay, you're just providing all of the details inside one main TF file. Okay, so once the file is done, here you're declaring your variables. Okay, in separate file, you're declaring variables like, okay, for storage I want 16 GB. Amazon ID would be my use this Amazon ID, or if I'm using Ubuntu means use this AMI ID. Okay, and then you're giving your instance type as T2 micro. So here we are just going with T3 micro. Okay, and then you're using that. Okay, use the default user. We will be having IAM user, right? So you're saying that use the default user. Everything is you're just declaring your variables in your variables.tf file. So once you can see this is all the TF files. I told you right now state files. So this is what your state files looks like. So once you run your Terraform files, you will be automatically down getting your Terraform state files here. And then dot slash deploy deploy.sh and the run destroy.sh will going to run the files which have entered in .tf format. Okay. So you can see that in vim deploy.sh you will be having the Terraform commands, Terraform init, Terraform validate, Terraform plan, and then Terraform approve, apply. Okay. So here it will be asking you confirmation, and you have to give yes to proceed. So if you give hyphen hyphen auto approve, it will not going to ask you the command yes, and it will be automatically going to launch or deploy your resources here. Okay, so in deploy.sh you're going to deploy your computing resources using the terraform commands. Okay, the first four terraform commands. So once everything is fine, I have created my EC2 resources and I no longer need that resources means I can able to delete my or destroy my resources also. So here you can see that vim. So here you can see Terraform destroy command. So I told you right, we will be putting all the first four commands in the deploy.sh in a particular file, and destroy command alone will be in a single particular file. Okay, it will be separated. Okay, so this is how your configuration or manifest file looks like, and .sh file is nothing but your you will be having your Terraform commands inside this file, and it is be a executable file. Okay, so it will execute the Terraform files exactly. So just back to the content, you see here, infrastructure as code is nothing but it's a method for managing and provisioning. This is a keyword, guys. You should be it should be on your mind. So whenever interviewer or someone asking you about Terraform, you should tell them it is an infrastructure as code tool as a method of it will be managing and provisioning compute resources. Okay. So how it will be managing and provisioning computing resources by configuration files, which is nothing but your Terraform files. So what is the advantages of using Terraform? So in real, you will be having your configuration files, okay, in your system. So you have to provide terraform init once, and you have to wait for that. So once the stage is done, after you should go and look for that, and after you should give the another command, and you have to wait for that stage, and you have to give the another command. So like this, if you don't want to make it as a traditional method, okay, you guys are now in a very advanced market. So you everything you're doing, it should be in a automation way, and also you should know about the troubleshooting skills also. So whatever you're doing, you should able to correct that particular thing also. Okay, so you will be putting all the commands inside one particular file, and you're going to run that file. Simple. Okay, so here no manual intervention is needed. If someone don't want any people to sit and just execute the file, so here we will be doing a manual way only, because dot deploy dot sh is executing by us only. Okay, either I'm running the file or another person is going to run this file. So in real, you will be having a cron job method. Okay, cron job is nothing but it will be a scheduling platform. So at this time, at this day, in this whole year, I want this particular work should be done, means you can able to just write the script for that. You can just give okay, at this time you just go inside the particular folder and run this deploy.sh, means it will be doing everything for you in an automatic way. Okay, so dot slash deploy.sh, which is the command or the file that is going to be run by you, means again it is a manual work. But if you put that inside a cron job and the scheduling things, and it is going to automatically doing things, means that is what called pure automation. Okay, so whatever the extra things I'm telling you, just keep that in your mind. So here you can see that what are the resources you're creating, EC2, S3, whatever the resource you want to create, you can able to do that, achieve that by the help of Terraform. Terraform is an infrastructure as code tool, and it will be managing and provisioning your computing resources using .tf configuration files. Okay, so it is scalable, it is repeatable. What is the term called repeatable? Because here I'm having my files, right? So okay, if I run this file, means it will be going to create a 16 GB storage virtual server. So if I want to repeat the server to somewhere else, or if I want this server to run in another project, means I can easily copy the files and I can put it in the entirely different folder, and running dot slash deploy.sh alone, I'm going to create a EC2 instance. instead of going to AWS console, I'm just going with the configurations. Here, I'm just going with one single action called /deploy.sh. Fine, everything will be going to create for me. I'm not going to just configure things again. Okay, so it is scalable, it is repeatable, and it is version controlled also. So how it is version controls? You have GitLab console, right? You will be going to upload all these files inside your GitLab console. So once you do any changes on your configuration files, it will be everything will be have a history or like a version control system on your GitLab console, so that you can able to see what are the updates you have been done on your Terraform files. So it enables automation, version control system, and consistency also. So these are all the repeated steps only. Just go through it. I'll share this particular PDF with you guys. So just try to understand what is Terraform. Here I have told already, right? So this is supporting multiple cloud providers. It will provision, manage, and it is a declarative language, which is we are using HashiCorp configuration language for Terraform. Okay, and then you will be having state files. Why exactly you're using Terraform for AWS resource provisioning? Because it will know, okay, it is declarative. So if you telling that, okay, I want EC2 instance or I want S3, it will just understand the scripts and it is going to figure out on the Terraform based language, which is nothing but HashiCorp configuration language. That language is very much declarative. You can able to do whatever you want to do in your desired state. What is your desired state here? AWS console. So it does not duplicate resources. See, if you run /deploy.sh and you forget to destroy that, and again if you run /deploy.sh means what it will do means it will automatically removes the first resources that have been created. Then it will be creating a new resource for you. Okay, no resources will be duplicate here. So it will be automatically replacing it, the concept called replacing resources. Okay, it will not destroying, it is replacing the resources with the new updated /deploy.sh, or not updated. It will be just replacing instead of removing everything. Okay, and then multiple cloud support is there. Yeah, you can reuse the templates for another things. And also modules is a one topic. Okay, modules is nothing but you will be having your Terraform files, right? You are running the Terraform files and you're just doing things, means that is one uh, way of doing that. Okay, that is what called you're having your configuration files and you're just using that. Okay, if you want to copy the file for another project, you will be copying the whole 8 to 10 files, okay, or 6 to 5 files according to the files that you have created. Okay, it will create, you can just take it off 5 or 6 files it is going to copy. But what is in module space, you will be going to copy just the path of the configuration files. Okay, you can use the path, you can use this path and you can just reuse this path on the multiple environments. Okay, if you have different environments, you don't want to copy all the 6 or 10 files, you can just copy the path and you can use that for a later purpose also. So that is what called modules. So just go through this PDF. You can know that what is advantages of using this. Like it is cost saving, easy deprovisioning. Deprovisioning is nothing but what will you do for provisioning? You will be going with initiate, init, validate, apply, plan. Okay, so for deprovisioning you will be going with Terraform destroy. And then you are having version control system. It is an infrastructure as code because you creating infrastructure as a code format. Okay, so multi-cloud and multiple provider also it will be supporting. It is reusability as like a template or like a path or like a files also. You can able to reuse that. And then it is automated deployment. I told you, right? You can it will reduces manual intervention by one way. You're not going to give uh, in it and then you have to wait and then you're going to give valid and then you wait and you're going for plan and wait and for apply. So you can reduce this time by just providing just clicking on /deploy.sh file. So it will automatically go and runs all of your commands one by one. Okay, So some workflows I have written here. Just go through this PDF. Okay. So here you can know how to install the Terraform. So we have already done that part. Okay. So you will be giving this access key, secret key here, right? You will be using this AWS configure command. Okay, you will be using AWS configure command to giving this pro things and all. So these are all some things that you have already done in your system setup. Okay, just avoid this, just ignore these things. And then block types in Terraform blocks, you will be having uh, provider block, resources block, variable, output, data, and then finally module. Okay, so what is provider block here? I'll show you in real. So this is what called your Terraform block. Okay. So here you will be having your Terraform info, like how we will be going to see our device info like that. Here you can see your Terraform info. And then this is what called provider block. In your provider block, you will be giving what provider you're going to use and the particular region, and then which profile. Profile is nothing but your AWS configure. So you did the AWS configure and you saved your access key, secret key, right? So that is what your default profile. Okay. The first thing you have created with AWS configure is what called your default profile. So here you will be replacing with Cloud Term to default. Okay. And then this is what called data block. So data block is nothing but here you're not going to just provide any of the details. You're telling that, okay, I'm having, see in AWS VPC, in AWS account, you go and see for the VPC, which is nothing but you provide that as a my VPC and go and fetch the details from there. So if you're telling or if you're giving the command to fetch the data from one place, means that is what called data block. Okay, here you're providing the details here itself, but in data block you're telling that you go and fetch data from somewhere. Like that, if you're telling, means that is what called your data block. And then this is also again a data block, because in subnets you are telling that, okay, subnet will be it is going to create and you go and just fetch the data from uh, AWS console. Okay, you are just telling go and fetch the data. So that is what data blocks will do. So again, these are things are called a data block. And what is resource block here? The particular thing you are creating, right? Like key pair, subnet, security group, EC2 instance. These are all comes under resources block. Resources is nothing but your AWS services. Okay, EC2, S3, subnet, VPC, route tables. These are all things called resources. So in resources, you're just declaring here, you're going to create a key pair, and the key pair name should be EC2 key. And I need the local file, and I see your EC2 key will be downloaded to your downloads folder, right? So here you're telling that just make sure my EC2 key is located on the local of my system. So the last resources here is security group. Okay, here you're going with the creating another one resources called security group, and you're just giving the protocols or rules here. Okay, it's like a ingress is nothing but inbound rules, and egress is nothing but your outbound rules. So we will be seeing this in detail. So just think what Terraform block will have. Terraform device, like a Terraform info. Provider block will give you which AWS provider or Azure, GCP, which cloud providers you are using, and its details here. And then data block will you're just declaring it. You're not declaring here. You're going to say fetch the data from a centralized hub, or fetch the data from a somewhere. You just go and fetch what are the details you need here. Go and do that on your own. So that particular information will be fetched from your AWS account. So like that, subnet also you will be going with data block. And resources block is nothing but exactly what are the services you're going to create, that is you declaring inside a resource block. Okay, so these are the different types of blocks. So module I have told you, right? If you want to reuse the template, you can just take the path, you can just copy the path. Okay, you can copy the path and you can reuse it. Okay guys, just go through that. So these are some provider configuration. So I told you, right, configurations. I just give the breakdown here. So how your provider block looks like, and just go through this. What is provider, what is this AWS, and what is this region US East one? Each and everything I gave as a breakdown for you to understand. Okay, and then go for the credentials block, or like a what to say, you will be having two ways of providing your credentials. One thing is shared credential like this, and another thing, you can just go for your profile name. Okay, just go profile and just select the default. So what we have seen in this particular thing, we are going with the profile called cloud top. Okay, just declaring the profile and not going with the shared credentials here. Okay, so, and then resource block, here is the syntax, and here is the example of the block, and here is the breakdown of the block. Okay, like that you will be having variables block, and then output block. So output block is nothing but, in output I need my public IP address should be shown, means you can just do that particular shell scripting inside that. And once the everything is fine, if you run the dot slash deploy.sh, everything is performed, and finally you will be getting a output thing called this EC2 public IP. Okay, so you can just declare, okay, I need my public IP address, or I need my public DNS name, or whatever thing you want to see on your output, you can just declare that on the output block. So here the data block, and then yeah, these are the example of like a syntax and example of how the block should looks like, and breakdowns also. So just go through these things. I'll share this PDF with you guys. Just have some time and look at these things. So you will be creating AWS instances through Terraform files. And what is the thing called, we have downloaded AWS CLI, right? You can able to provision your resources through JSON file format also. You can write a JSON input file, and you can just run the file. It will be going to create a EC2 instances or resources for you. Okay, just go through this file. We are not going with JSON input files. Everything we will be dealing with Terraform scripts only. But this is another one method also. Just go through this method. Okay, you can see like this. So this is what a exact JSON file to just create a EC2 instance. See, whatever the things you have declared in the configuration files, right, in amazon.tf file, you can able to see that in the image ID, AMI ID, instance type, key name, security group, what will be your minimum count. If you want one server, one EC2, you can just click on one EC2, or maximum if you want two EC2 instance, you can just click on that. And you're giving the resource type, which is nothing but instance. So I'm creating EC2 instance here, and this will be my instance name. So you will be, whatever the thing you have created on the Terraform file, you can achieve that also by using the JSON input file also. So once you return the JSON format and you run, it will be going to create a EC2 instance for you. But here you cannot see here you're just giving the security group ID only. In the Terraform codes, you can declare, you can do the things, everything in detail. Okay, and here the breakdown or explanation of each and every line I have been written on the JSON format. You can able to see that here. And then how to just launch an EC2 instance. Once your JSON file is ready, you should give this command to run the JSON file. Okay, so you are declaring that AWS account, sorry, AWS cloud provider at EC2 service. You're going to run the instances at the CLI input JSON file format, and you're just giving the path of the file. Okay, so what will happens? It will just read the EC2 config.json file. What is EC2 config.json file? This is what your EC2 config.json file. Okay, you are just create this is your file's name. Okay, and it is going to create an EC2 instance on a specified AMI instance type or things what you have just written on that particular JSON file, and it is going to tag, or it is going to name it as a my EC2 instance. So these things have been going to happen once you run the AWS CLI command, right? AWS CLI command to create a EC2 instance. Okay, if you want to terminate, you can use this command to terminate. This is a AWS command. So how we will be having git command and terraform command like that. This is AWS CLI command. Okay. Okay, just go through this PDF, and if any doubts reach to me, we'll just discuss in the group or in our next class. Okay. Any doubts, guys? So any doubts, anything
Awesome.
that you want to clarify here?
I need to look that PDF first, then only we will get.
Okay, okay. Okay, sure. I'll share this PDF with you in group. Just go through it, and if any doubts arises, just put that in group or just note that out. We can discuss in our upcoming classes also. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We can wind up class now. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Soumya. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you.